what's the metric that you're using to decide like, okay, this is 11.3 at CO. I can sell this now, understanding that in the current market, I'm going to sell it at a discount versus it's going to be worth, 13.4 in the future, but it's 2.5 years there. And what could I do with that capital in the meantime if I redeployed it on a new curve? So in that scenario, like, tell me how your brain's working and what are the metrics that you're using?
Yeah, great question. So maybe about 2 years ago, we decided to kind of change our internal structure where now we are always ready to sell is kind of the broad term that we use. But what goes into always being ready to sell? Well, the number one thing is where is the market going to be when we decide to sell? So actually doing a very realistic analysis of, okay, so if we sell today, what are we actually going to get? Regardless of what the appraisal says. If we sell 6 months from now, what are we actually going to get? If we sell, 18 months from now, what are we actually going to get? And then you just run an internal rate of return calculation. And anywhere where I see the IRR is the highest, that is the point where I'm going to sell, not necessarily wait until this thing is stabilized. So, for example, you may realize that, hey, it's not going to make sense to hold this asset, take on that lease up risk to maybe get $13 million at the end of this, investment cycle. And that's assuming everything stays the same as far as the assumptions that you're using today or when you underwrote or when that appraisal was given, right? God forbid, what happens if there's World War III? What happens if Taiwan gets invaded? Who knows, right?
Or a competitor, a massive competitor enters the market.
Yeah. Or just a dumb competitor that enters the market and they don't do any supply index studies. This has happened to one of our facilities. We were already in a basically saturated market and somebody came in and plopped 120,000 square feet down like an idiot, which destroyed everything, right? Not only for him, but for everyone else in the market to get rid of. So the way I look at it is you got a bird in the hand or two in the bush. I'm always going to take the one in the hand because I know my unknowns here. The problem with the two in the bush is there's unknown unknowns. You don't even know what can happen that can affect that value